I've helped people move up the proverbial career ladder for over 6 years now. So I've seen what it takes to speed up the process, but I've also seen, and maybe more importantly, I've seen the mistakes that people make that often slows their progress down to a snail's pace or even stops it altogether. So if you're an aspiring leader, then I want you to keep watching, because I'm going to tell you the top 3 mistakes that I've seen over my 6 years that people make and how to fix them so that you can fix them if you are making them, or how you can avoid them so that you can speed up the process. So stay tuned. Hello, I am Sarah Curto, career and leadership coach. I help unhappy and stuck workers, find their dream jobs and get that next promotion. So really, I just want them to be working less. I want them to be making more money, and I want them to be feeling happy and fulfilled, challenged, doing work that they love. So I come here to this YouTube channel every week and I drop a new training. So if you are happy or unstuck or an aspiring leader, I want you to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single training. Okay, also a favor, just a teeny itty bitty one. If you like this content, then I would appreciate if you could do me a solid by hitting the like button or commenting below a question, something you loved about this video or that you're going to implement, or a thought, because my goal, 80% of people hate their work, hate or tolerate it. I want 80% of people to love their work. And so the more people that sees my content, this free content, the more people can find their dream jobs or get their next promotions. So it would really help if you just gave me a little like. Thank you. Anyway, let's get to it. The mistakes you're making or potentially making or wanting to avoid if you want to be a leader or move up the ranks of leadership. So the first one is the most common and is also the easiest to fix. So mistake number one, you don't communicate your career goals. We often hope that our manager knows what we want or hope that they see it too. But often they are wrapped up in their own career goals, objectives, and own careers that they don't always look at the potential of the people on their team. Some do, they're great natural leaders, but not everyone does, which means you must tell them. So how to tell them? How's the fix? Here you go. I'm going to give it all to you. Ahead of your next one-on-one, I want you to simply alert your manager that you will want to discuss your career path, your future career goals, your future within the organization. Now, you can do this in an email. You can do this in the calendar invite itself, or over the phone or in person, literally however you want to. I think it's really good to do it before to alert them so that they can come in prepared, so that you're not catching them off guard, so that you can have an actual conversation about this. Then during the one-on-one, discuss your aspiration to progress and ask for advice. See, by giving them more time to ponder this, it allows them to think about the advice that they would want to give you or the steps that they could do to help advocate for you to move along those next steps. Okay, mistake number 2. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with the above, but not always. But I have it separate for a specific reason, and you'll see why. So mistake number 2 is you believe that your hard work speaks for itself. I wish that it did, but it really does not. Like I said above, your manager is wrapped up in their own world, which means that they might not notice it. But here's another thing. And the reason why this is a standalone mistake. When you become really good at your job, your manager begins to see you and your current role as one and the same. You become synonymous with that role, not the next role. They don't see you progressing because you're just so damn good at your current job. They assume that you love it and wouldn't want to move up. Or worse, they hold you back because you're too valuable. So the solution is the same as above. We are going to fix it by communicating to your boss that you want to move up the ladder. And you also do have to tell them about your hard work and wins so that they even know that they are happening in case they don't know. And if you have an inkling that your boss doesn't want to lose you because you're too valuable to the team, then you got to start looking elsewhere. You got to start, if you still want to stay internal, you got to start building relationships internally to other teams, or start looking external, because they are not going to let you go because they're not a good manager. So there we go. Okay, this next mistake happens when you've been overlooked for a promotion so often, you begin not even wanting the next step because, mistake number 3, you want to skip a step. Now, this happens because you feel like you are behind. And when we're behind, we often want to take shortcuts. We want to skip over necessary steps, anything to begin to feel caught up. The thing is you won't ever be able to skip steps when it comes to your career. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. You can't go from specialist to director or director to the C-suite. Caveat for the really flat organizations that would be technically the next step, but in general, that's never going to happen. But what happens is that you begin to feel impatient. You resent the steps you do have to take. And then when it comes to networking, applying, and interviewing for roles, it keeps you stuck even longer. Makes you feel more and more behind, and thus a vicious cycle is born. Instead, you need to feel like you are exactly where you need to be. I want you to focus on filling the gaps needed to take that next step, and I want you to work on getting excited about it. You are not behind, you're where you need to be. And eventually you can become a director or a C-suite individual, but we gotta take the path there. Now, if you're making one of these mistakes, I'm going to fix them. And then you'll be so much closer to finally landing that next promotion that you've been dreaming of. Now, if you've been wanting to take your next step in your career, I want you to be sure to check out my new program, Your Next Promotion. It's 4 months of me and you working together one-on-one, taking you from frustrated and confused to that promotion. Hit the link in the first comment and description to find out more, or you can message me or comment below, and we can set up a free call to see if it makes sense for you. Now, if you liked this video, please let me know by liking this video, sharing it with a friend, or commenting below. Let me know if you've been making any of these mistakes and if you're going to try and fix them this week. And make sure you come back next week to watch the next training that I'll be dropping. See you here. Bye. If you liked this video, then I invite you to join me in the Find Your Dream Job program, where you work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled doing work that you love. Find out more at www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. See you there.